City's Board of Adjustment meeting for February 7th, 2022, or February 17th, 2022, sorry. The agenda, documents, and minutes are located on okc.primegov.com/public/portal. At this point, we ask that you silence any electronic devices that you may have. For anyone wishing to speak today, hopefully you have previously notified staff. If you are the applicant, you will be acknowledged to speak at the appropriate time. If you're not the applicant and would like to speak, hopefully you have already filled out one of the forms on the table outside and delivered it to staff. If you have not done so already, you would like to speak, please fill out that form and deliver it to staff at this time. That would be Cindy. We will call the case, then I will recognize the applicant or representatives who speak, then I will recognize supporters, then any protest, and then we close with the applicant speaking. Public comment will then be closed unless specifically reopened by me or another board member. The board will deliberate and then vote. For speakers other than the applicant, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If several people have the same or similar comments, please respect the time of the board and other applicants and ask that you designate 1 or 2 speakers to address the concerns of the group. Those individuals will be given more than 3 minutes if needed, and we will allow others to add any new or additional information if necessary after the designated speakers. If you arrive after your item has been heard, or if you have a different matter to raise, you will be allowed to speak under citizens to be heard. Board members will be allowed to ask questions or make comments at any time during the meeting. Please do not interrupt board members while they are speaking because we need a clear record, and that makes meetings go by faster. Before you begin with your comments, please identify yourself by stating your name and address, and I call this meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is to receive the minutes from the January 20th, 2022 meeting. Changes or motion?
I'll move approval.
I second.
And the minutes are approved. Next item, our continuance request or withdrawals. I believe we have at least 1 or 2.
Have a couple. First is item 9, case 14-994. The applicant requests a continuance to April 21st. And item 13, 14-960, request a deferral to July 7th.
Do we need a separate motion, or we can do those at once? Do it at once, okay. Separately, okay. I'll take a motion on the first one. Was that 9? Number 9 to April 21st.
Can we change item number 9 to April
21.
April 21st? Yes.
Got it. Second.
There we go.
And the item has been deferred to April 21st, 2022. The second one, item 13, to be deferred to July 7th.
I'll move we continue that one to July 7.
Yeah. And that item has been deferred to July 7th. We'll now move on to the consent docket. Seeing none. And now items requiring a separate vote.
Okay, the first item for public hearing is item 1, case 14-988. It's a request of Hewitt Zollers for a setback variance in the I-2 district at 8104 South Shields Boulevard.
Is there oh, there you are.
Meredith Schneeberger with Hewitt Zollers, 701 North Broadway, Suite 530.
Okay, tell us about your case.
We are requesting relief from the 25-foot setback along the east property line where our I-2 property, zoned property, abuts the R1
To the north, right?
to the north, yes.
I didn't have a whole lot since the R1 seemed to be very unlikely to develop as R1, but anybody else has any comments? None? Anybody open to speak? I can take a motion if we're ready.
I'd like a motion that we accept case number 14988 on the grounds that it meets the statutory conditions for a variance setback.
I'll second it.
And your item is approved.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item 2, case 14989, it's a request of Vaquero 44th Western Partners for a variance to the driveway separation at 4400 Southwestern Avenue.
This makes sense, Chief.
How's it going? Matthew Smith, Vaquero Ventures, 2900 Wingate Street, Fort Worth, Texas. We're requesting a variance for our drive on Western Avenue. We worked with staff before submitting the plans and they recommended that we just split the difference between the drive to the north and the current drive, which is really close to the intersection. They don't meet it does not meet spacing from the intersection or to the next drive, but through working with staff, they recommended we just try to split the difference between the two. We're also removing one of the entrances off 44th Street and moving it back off 44th to meet spacing requirements.
Okay, so really the one at issue is on the western side,
Yes.
but you're moving it further north or as
Yes.
far as you can. All right, okay. Which is better than existing, so I'm okay with it. Board members, anything? Nothing?
No protest on this one?
Nothing? Okay. Take a motion.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that corner cleaned
Right,
up,
yeah.
so
It'll be
thank
better.
you. I'll move approval.
And that motion is approved, or application is approved, sorry.
Item 3, case 14991, application for special exemption of Anthony Green to allow home sharing at 2009 North Ross Avenue.
Hello, I am Octavia Castillo. I'm here on behalf of Anthony Green as his property manager for the house at 2009 North Ross.
The only thing I had. Yep, sorry. The only thing I had was the rule, no loud music at 9 PM. Can we just change it to no loud music?
Yes,
At all?
absolutely. Yeah, and we, on all of our Airbnbs we manage, we require Ring doorbells and that kind of thing, so we
Right.
can see how many people are actually staying there versus what they're claiming. And we have an in-town presence, so we can be there if we need to be.
Right, okay. I don't know, sound like.
Is 9 too early?
like,
Is
yeah,
that what
loud
you're
music's
thinking?
Great till 9, so have it at, but, okay. I guess our really thing, the rules look okay. We got off-street parking. The only thing is, figure out a length of time for you guys. You know me, so. I can get on board with anything up to 10 years. Well, everybody wants a 10, but I don't think we've ever given that, so. Could be the first.
It's a nice house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice house. It's a
We're getting a
very small garage.
concentration. We're getting a concentration of these.
No, yeah, I mean, it's the
So-
center of the city. Yeah.
So I was thinking 2 years, see
Okay.
how it goes.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Okay. Is it my turn to make a motion? I'll move approval, include the self-imposed conditions, 2 years.
I second.
And I'm going to stay up here, I believe.
And that application for special exception is approved for 2 years.
Okay,
I'm
item
staying
four.
here. I think I have the next
Oh,
one,
you
too.
got the next one? Oh, next. You
Item
got
4,
5, and 6.
14981, special exception of Matthew Jules to allow home sharing at 809 West Eubanks.
Do I need to restate who I am?
Just more specific to the property. Yeah,
Okay.
all the same
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm
Well,
actually-
Yeah, your name and address, just for the record, for the,
Okay, well, I'm Octavia Castillo. I'm the property manager also for Matthew Jules. These are for 3 properties at 809 West Eubanks and then the 2 properties on Chartel. We were here back in January, I
Yeah, I
believe.
think
We were here
I
in
remember.
January. Yeah, we missed February from the snow. And at that time, I think we didn't want 3 Airbnbs next to each other. He bought these as a lot, kind of from the original owner, all 3 next to each other to be used as that. But since then, he's kind of reconfigured what he wants to do and is ready to kind of tell you now kind of what he's thinking.
all right.
So the one on 809 Eubanks, I think he's just going to turn that into only for traveling nurses. We have several properties that's almost exclusively what books them anyways, so that works for him. Those usually are no less than 2 to 3 months, usually on average is what they do. And then the one on 3627 North Chartel, that's the one he would like the special exception for. That one is the one that borders 36, so it's kind of on a busier street. So we figured that would be less nuisance to the community in general. And then the only home next to the one on 3627 North Chartel would be our house that we owned, that he's going to turn into a regular rental.
Okay.
That's the general plan.
It's basically that whole corner, right, JJ? Like, yeah, all 3 of these. Okay. And why is this better than what we were talking about the last time? Is it minus a property? It's not, is it? It's all 3. But they're, okay, I'm just trying to remember it.
However, the difference is the one on Eubanks, they were saying that they're gonna list it as for nurses only. The other 2, they want to
Okay. I got you, okay. Yeah, okay. I would suspect Sam would still have reservations. Given the circumstances and the size of the house and the area, I'm okay with it still, but it's just me, so y'all deliberate. Or not. What? What are you saying? I don't know. Mike, it's on.
I can hear the echo.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, you can't hear me anyways? No, I can hear you. Oh, Kitty. I got you.
I didn't have it on.
Oh, okay. All right. We got it figured out now. Anybody signed up to speak on this one? If not, take a motion. And a length of time.
So we're just doing 809 by itself?
Yeah, we gotta do them one
Okay.
separately.
Okay.
It'll be this one, then the next one.
I would like to make a motion that we accept case number 14981 for a special exception of 3 years.
3 years. 3 years?
Yes, with the provision that it will be for traveling nurses.
Okay.
I'll second that.
And that application is approved for 3 years.
Next one is item 5, 14984, special exception for home sharing at 3623 North Chartel.
Same thing. Is there anything specific about this one? I know, well, this one won't be traveling nurses, right?
Yeah, this is the one that will succeed and say that we won't turn this one into an Airbnb. So we'll just have this as a
Just be
regular
a-
rental, probably is what he'll end up doing with it, as a regular rental. It's being remodeled right now, so I'm not sure what he'll do with it, but
Okay, so is the special exception just in case? Is that what we're,
didn't think we were going to be able to get a special exception on the 3623, only on the 3627. I was told I had to pick one, basically.
okay, yeah, right, gotcha.
Well, if she doesn't need a special exception for this one,
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying, we can just
withdraw it or deny
That's
it?
Yeah,
right,
we'll
that's
just-
right.
Withdraw it.
Withdraw it,
withdraw to withdraw it.
okay.
Take a motion to withdraw.
She's withdrawing 14984.
Let's make sure 14984, right? The 3623,
She can just
Yeah.
withdraw.
right? Yeah, okay, you could just do it. We don't have to take a motion or anything. Okay.
Okay,
All right, we'll move on to 6 then.
Okay,
that one's withdrawn.
yeah.
Okay.
Number 6, case 14990, special exception of Matthew Jules for home sharing at 3627 North Chartel.
Yeah.
That clears up a whole lot of confusion now for me on
Yes,
those
sir.
cases.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, this is the one we'd like the special exception for because
cool.
it's right
Yeah.
there on 36, so it's a little bit harder to do
Right.
anything else with it, to be honest.
Yep. And I didn't have anything on this one, I don't think. Anyone on the board or signed up to speak?
I'd just like to make a comment, because each one of his 3 applications, they say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So therefore, next time, because I'm sure he'll be back, you may want to designate what the wording should be.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you might take the rules from the first one and strike the traveling nurses part.
Yeah, because that's the part, it's
Right, yeah, no,
carries
that would have
on.
been wise, wouldn't it? Yeah, uh-huh.
So given the fact that this is a heavily populated area of houses that are Airbnbs,
Okay.
yeah. So I would like to make a motion that we accept case number 14990 for a period of 1 year.
Okay.
Or is that too tight? We can do it for 2 years.
It's pretty low for me, but.
Okay, only because there's so many in that area. So we'll bump it up to 2 years. So let me revise. For a period of 2 years.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I'll second that.
And that special application is approved.
All right, thank you.
Item 7, case 14992, is a request of the City of Oklahoma City for a variance to the required parking lot islands and landscaping at 201 Delmar Gardens Avenue.
Is our applicant here? The city?
No one here from the city.
It's you, JJ.
I'm not coming down there.
Are you actually presenting the application?
Well,
Because if you are, you do have to go down.
No, I'm fine. This is an application, huh?
You really do have to, because you're the applicant.
I'm not the applicant,
Well,
but
if you're not the applicant.
I'll speak for them.
rescind it.
This is just an application by the city for a variance at the fairgrounds for the parking lots out there are, they're very specialized parking lots. They're huge. They accommodate huge horse trailers, tractor trailers, and islands in the parking lots would get destroyed. So they're moving the landscaping to the perimeter of the parking lots and eliminating the islands in the middle of the lot. And it's similar to the parking lot we did that was where the old baseball stadium was. We did the same thing there. You'll notice there's more landscaping around the perimeter and nothing in the middle.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we want a bunch of horse trailers hung up on the curb and
No,
running over trees.
no, this makes sense, and
Mike can use it for a car show,
that's right.
easier. Yeah.
No protest, I'll move approval.
Right, has anybody signed up to speak, just to check? Okay.
Is he standing? Oh,
No, just stretching.
Okay.
I'll second.
JJ, your application is approved.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Item 8, case 14993, request of Mitchell Davidson for a variance to the lot size in the AA district at 15,001 Gar Place.
Mitchell Davidson, 5800 Southeast 149th.
What can you tell us about your case?
Okay, I own the properties, actually almost 40 acres right there.
Right.
And now there are people living on most of it. My wife and I are in our 70s, and we have 5 acres in a large house when we first moved out there. And we don't want to move locations because all of my children live right there on that property, and 2 friends that I've mentored through the years. So we want to be able to stay there. And the only way we could make it work is to split those 2 properties there that we see. Tract A in the original was 5 acres running 330 by 660. My son and I are going to swap properties there to make his run longer this way to the east and open up that tract B for my wife and I to build a house on there and relocate and live there with less acreage and a smaller house. Tract C is a good friend of mine, and there is already a house there that's been there for years. He right now is renting the house, and the intentions are, when he is able, is I'm going to carry the note for him because he can't get financing any other way. So that's, and if you can't, if I wanted to get financing to build the house on Tract B, you can't finance a property with 2 houses on it, so can't do it without I split those 2 up.
How big is the Tract C lot now? Is it Tract C and B, or?
Tract C is almost 1 point, it's an acre. The Tract B is 2.37.
Is that what we're wanting to be, or what it is?
No,
That's what it's called out
there
now.
is
Okay.
Tract,
And all encompasses the whole,
it encompasses the whole thing. If you could take, I don't know if this is hard for me to explain, but in Tract A, if you see that perforated line down through there, okay, that is the property line of Tract A that runs down through Tract B there. There's a 5-acre tract there now. And the other tract runs from the south end of Tract C all the way to 149th Street. It's an elongated piece of property in there. There's a pipeline that runs right down the middle of it that makes it impossible to be used for anything else. I have city water. When my son built the house on the corner, we have city water there, so we're not going to make there'd be no wells drilled or anything like that to make any impact on the aquifer.
I know favorable is there's other lots in the area that are similar. I looked at this and kind of thought it could be a PUD, but I don't know. It's, how many of these have we, I haven't remembered one we've done, especially with these weird different sizes.
Which are the tracks that you're wanting to separate?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Which are
The smallest one would be just a little over an acre.
Yeah, but which one is he wanting to separate?
Well, it's track A, B, and C all equals, I think, what, 8 acres total, something like that?
Yes, yeah.
But
it
it's
would
a total-
probably, almost, it would probably be about 9
And
acres.
the whole of the property is what, 10?
The property in question is about 10
10
acres,
acres,
yes, yes.
And so, 2.5 acres are not considered in this. That would be left over.
Okay.
The only thing I'm concerned about really is the 1 acre precedence in AA. That's quite a big jump from 5. The overall project, though, I'm in favor with, but it's just technicalities, I guess.
I'm sorry, I'm having a very
The overall
difficult time
project I'm in
hearing.
favor with, it's just the one track that's only an acre.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of got me hung up a little bit, but not enough that I wouldn't vote for it, but I'm not sure. Like I said, it kind of looks like it could be a PUD, and I know pain, but up to y'all.
We didn't have anybody protest.
No.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
And for the reasons that meets the statutory requirements for a variance, this request is approved. Thank you. Your request is approved. Sorry.
Okay, I did, now, is that,
Here.
is there anything else I need to do? I'm not real good at all this stuff. I'm a plumber,
We're
man, I'm
about
telling
10
you.
days. I think 10 days you'll get your,
Okay,
you'll get approval
that's all I
letter
need
and
to
everything.
know, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 9 was deferred. Item 10 is case 14995, request of Grubbs Consulting for a variance to the sign height, landscape, and street requirements at 5050 North May Avenue and 2800 Northwest 50th Street.
Good afternoon, David Box, 522 Colcord Drive, here on behalf of the applicant. This is a variance request similar to one we had previously. This is a very dated shopping center that a local investor has come in, spending some significant money to rehab. And if you're familiar with 50th and May, it's kind of a strange intersection. This exhibit, we hope, will kind of highlight what we're asking for. Much of what we're asking for is already built and has been in place since about the 60s. It was permitted at the time. All of the records that are, I guess, needed to confirm have been lost by the city, is what we are of the belief. But one of the requests is to allow maneuvering within the right-of-way, some other things within the right-of-way. What you'll notice, and Cindy, could you put the aerial on the screen? What you'll notice if you look at the aerial, there you go, compared to this, all of the red hashed lines are areas in which we seek maneuvering within the right-of-way. The right-of-way here is 75 feet wide, which is 25 feet larger than a traditional right-of-way would be. And so if you look at the aerial when compared to this, all of the area you see as hatched is where it's already shown as maneuvering within the right-of-way. One of the oddities with this intersection is there's really no curbs. It basically transitions from May Avenue and 50th into the parking lot without a defined curb opening. So we are going to come in and actually put curbs that meet city standards, so that's defined areas. Like I said, if you're familiar with it, you can literally just pop off the street anywhere, and it's a fairly dangerous situation. So we're going to actually bring this up to city code. Also, we propose to put signs within the right-of-way. It's worth noting that signs have been in the right-of-way historically at that gas station since at least the 60s. And additionally, bollards along the alley on the outside of the alley side, so our property side. So we won't impede any traffic. Again, much of this is already in place, and we're just seeking to update the site and continue the further investment at Mayfair Village. And staff, despite their best efforts, was unable to find an unfavorable consideration.
What were bollards again? Were they traffic control deals?
Yeah, so they're, you know, the, like you see out in front of the Civic Center, like the concrete or steel
Speed up the truck.
to impede traffic, correct.
I remember. Okay. Yeah, this is a interesting area. Watch
Yeah,
out for the
it's-
trees when you get into the parking lot.
It's needed a facelift for quite some time, and like I said, local buyers have come in and have been doing quite a bit of work, and I think the biggest benefit to the city, frankly, is having defined access points rather than just a gentle transition from the street to the parking lot.
So they're gonna hack off part of that retail center that's there currently and then kind of flip it? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or is it adding on plus that?
Yeah, the proposed building on the east, I believe, if you go to the aerial, Cindy, if you don't mind, I believe it's a vacant tract now. Yeah,
Right, okay,
that.
new building there.
And then the building that's at the corner of 50th May will go away for the building of a new modern gas station. It's a gas station that is, I think it has like 2 or 3 pumps. Again, it's from the 60s.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's going to be a new gas station that is going to look and feel and operate like gas stations we, you know, expect to see today.
Okay.
For reference, here's a survey of the existing conditions. From the alley basically to that building, there is no curb. So it goes from 50th Street to private property without a defined, you know, point of access. So when you're there and it's, you know, busy, you'll see cars from both directions just going kind of wherever they please. And so,
Put a UPS store.
yeah, defined access point with curves, I think will serve as a real benefit to the area.
I agree with David.
Oh, I do too. So I would like to make a motion that we approve case number 14995 for a variance because it meets the requirements given. However, I do want to say this. On one of your pictures, you have gas listed at $2.34. We would like to have that here now.
Mark Grubbs is a civil engineer, and he's texting me, so I know he's watching. He's probably willing to, you know,
Wishful thinking.
make up the difference from today's gas prices from that image.
Looks like you did the drawing about, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And that application is approved.
Thank you.
Item 11, case 14996, request of Stephen Morris for a variance to the rear setback regulations at 2744 West Country Club Drive.
Hi, I'm Steve Morris. I'm the homeowner.
Address, Steve. Give your address.
2744 West Country Club
Awesome.
Drive.
Tell us about your case.
Well, basically, trying to do a pool at a new house. The lot is a little trapezoidal, goes diagonally from west to east. While we were pulling the permit, we realized that the setback was a little deeper than what we had thought. So we need 2.5 feet of the setback, but we're not cutting into any of the sewer line utility easements or the electrical easements, anything like that. That's it.
Okay, that's minimal and definitely peculiarity is there, so I'm all right with this one. Anybody signed up to speak randomly? No? Okay.
None. So I make a motion that we approve case number 14996 for a variance on the grounds that it meets the requirements.
Thank you.
And your application is approved. Enjoy the pool.
Item 12, case 14997.
Maybe this summer. I don't know.
Special exception of Fred Lee to allow home sharing at 4813 North Miller.
Hello, my name is Fred Lee. I'm here representing 4813 North Miller.
Okay. Anything you'd like to tell us about the application? Maybe more specific to the property?
We're
We've got
requesting
parking.
a special exception for lodging for Airbnb. The home is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. We like to have no more than 6 people stay. Children, possibly, we could make accommodation for that. It's being advertised on Airbnb, all the rules, no smoking, no pets except for service dogs, no gatherings, no parties of any kind, keep noise to a minimum after 10. It's a quiet neighborhood. We certainly want to keep it that way. Only 2 cars can be parked in the driveway at a time, so if we keep that, that would also go in line with, the number of people staying there as well. Let's see. Basically, we're advertising to families, business travelers as well. It is a safe facility. We have fire extinguishers inside, fire, smoke alarms, CO2 alarms, which are all monitored through Cox. There's also a security system which is monitored through Cox, which the tenants can use if they wish. There are exterior cameras, so we can monitor if anyone is breaking the rules. And there's a Ring doorbell, so we can monitor that as well. Prior to anyone staying there, when they go through our Airbnb, we do look at their reviews, and they have to have reviews. No new tenants to Airbnb are allowed to stay there, no one under 21 as well. Our goal is to provide a nice lodging place in the kind of the north central area of Oklahoma City, and we like the neighborhood and want to enhance it further.
Okay. With that said, on the rules, being Airbnb only, can we remove the the reference to Instagram? I don't think you want to rent on people to Instagram anyways, but
For Instagram?
the Instagram, yeah, it's just written in the rules.
Oh, yeah. Some people like to, it's such a unique place.
Yeah.
Some people like to use it as a backdrop for photos, like for, graduation photos, wedding photos, family photos for Christmas cards, things like that. So sometimes photographers will ask us to use a place for an afternoon. They don't stay overnight, anything like that, and it should be throughout the week. And in the backyard, there's an Airstream in there, there's a nice deck around there. It's kind of a neat backyard where it's a nice backdrop for folks where they can have pictures taken. And so that's the only thing that comes off of that. All lodging goes through Airbnb.
Right. That doesn't concern, the special exception for home sharing though. Right, JJ?
Right.
And, is there something else they need to do if they're gonna be? I don't know. It's just taking pictures. I don't know. I just think we may have it. We've got a couple of protesters, and I think that was part of the deal was doing, other activities besides renting the house type of thing. It just.
Can I address those?
Yeah, and if you would like to have them speak first, you can address them after that. And my other thing was on the gatherings. I know you said no gatherings. In the rules, it says unless, 15 people or less. Can we just take the rest of that out and just say no gatherings?
Yeah, we say no gatherings, 15 or less, because there has been, a lady came in over the holidays, she's from San Francisco, all her kids and grandkids live there.
Right.
So when they wanted to get together for Christmas, there was like 10 or 12 people. So, and we've had some people want to do baby showers there of 20, but no, you can't, those kinds of.
That's fine. I think that's probably a good exception, but as far as advertising in the rules, how you list it, just no gatherings and, if they talk to you privately, say, it's a family, they're just kids coming in, then yeah, that's fine, I think.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
okay, I guess let me call the first. Mr. William Nealand? And sir, if you can just take a seat for now if you want, and
Okay.
we'll call you back up after.
Mr. Chairman, welcome the opportunity to address the EOA. I see some familiar faces, which is always comforting. Unfortunately, I don't see my neighbor's face. I never met my neighbor until today.
Sir,
One
can we,
of them.
can we get your name and address for the record?
William Nealand, 4812 North Miller.
Thank you, sorry.
I'm sure each one of you would like to know your neighbor's vehicle, what they look like. We don't have that opportunity. Every day is kind of different as far as the comings and goings. As stated in my letter that you have, there are many reasons and concerns we have. We've been through, in my situation, I've lived directly across the street for 40 years. In my entertainment den, I get to look directly down the driveway to my west of 4813. Even if I don't see a vehicle, because possibly my truck or my car is blocking my bay window, I hear the door. So the comings and goings are always a concern with regard to our safety in our neighborhood, and we pride ourselves in Mayfair Heights as residents to be concerned about cars not recognized, people that we don't recognize. It's a very quiet neighborhood, has been since I've lived there. Stipulation placed on the business located at 4813 continued to be violated. We've had a number of parties. That's continued since the beginning of this R1 designated residence. Although I did receive a kind letter from Rhea Ann Lee indicating that we do not allow parties, but as Fred just indicated, they do have parties. Sometimes the parties are during the day, sometimes the parties are during the night. Now, the last presentation I made, we documented dates, pictures, consistently for about a year. My neighbor and I haven't done it this time. I'm going to continue to do it because we're now in the third phase of this residence. The first phase was the bed and breakfast. The owner shut that down during the COVID. Their son lived there. There were some very serious activities going on. And then we are now in the third phase with the new owners, the Lees. They seem to be more personal, more genuine with regard to our concerns, but we'll have to see. There's no regulation, supervision, because the owner doesn't live there. And we, the residents, have to take into consideration and document any of these improprieties that either are not stipulated by the VOA with regard to number of people, number of vehicles, type of occupancy that's going on. So we're going to take that responsibility for this next year and see how that turns out. And I would ask that if approved, that it should be only for a year to give us the opportunity to go through these continued violations. Previous owner, going way back to the original owner, we had an understanding that he wouldn't park directly on the west curb from my east curb, such that I could pull out with my 3/4-ton four-wheel drive truck. I can pull out with cars parked on the east side and the west side, as parties have indicated in the recent past, in my Camry, but I cannot pull out with my truck. Fortunately, my truck isn't a daily driver, so that's not an issue all the time until I come when I want to pull out my truck. If I wanted to have a garage sale, I need to make sure that I contact the owner to make sure there's not some kind of party or double curb parking that would prevent me from having a garage sale. So the problems continue in that regard. I would make one request of the council. I would like to know the number of similar R1 residents in Oklahoma City. And I would like to know the relative 2021, 2020 income that comes from a licensed R1 residence that this one qualifies as. I would like to make one last comment with regard to the staff report, with regard to the maximum number of guests to be accommodated. It says, item CB, 8 is the maximum for overnight. I advise 6, but we'll make an exception for 2 more. I don't think that's right. We only have 3 bedrooms, and my understanding, you have 2 people per bedroom. These are small bedrooms, only 1,100 more or less square foot house. Item CB, that was 8 or 6. Item CD, item 3, number of gatherings, unless 15 or less. I do not understand, and I'm just a retired civil engineer. I don't understand number of gatherings unless 15 people or less. What does that mean?
I asked the same thing. I think we just ask if we just say no gatherings on that one.
And a new item, how many cars parked on the street? This keeps coming up. This was an issue last time. This has been an issue this time. I hope that the BOA recognizes our concern. Possibly you would understand my comments if you had directly across the street a residence unoccupied by the owner, comings and goings of people you didn't recognize, vehicles parked in the driveway, vehicles parked in the driveway over the city curb, and our new sidewalk, thank you to the city for that, on the west side, on the property of 4813, we have a new sidewalk. And it is amazingly used by dog walkers, children walkers, strollers. We have a couple of handicap cane walkers. Nobody in a wheelchair I've recognized, but that sidewalk is used amazingly well. Any comments?
As far as the sidewalks, I'd say, JJ, it's a violation to park within the sidewalk. If you do see a violation, you're more than welcome to report it to the action line and to the
My neighbor and I have been advised that we call 911 with regard to complaints.
I wouldn't do that.
That is the only way we were told that we could be documented on the record.
Noise complaints and parties, yes, I would do that. City ordinance violations, I would report to the city.
Report to the city?
Using the action line, there's an email.
Okay.
There's a phone number.
We'll find that.
Yes, and I know it's posted on the website, and I should know it, but I use the app. It's called OKC Connect.
You can also go to okc.gov.
And okc.gov, and then there's a link there for all that information for Action Center is what you're looking for, basically.
All of you members can understand the words, the issues that we've presented with regard to not knowing the neighbors, vehicles, what's happening tomorrow, what's happening tonight.
And I believe that's why we only granted this one for a year, and I'm glad we did.
And
And as far as his past discretions, I can't put that on this owner. All I can do is hope that he does better than the previous one.
well, we're
And I
going to
think that he
monitor it for another year. And
Oh, good, cool.
I'm encouraged by the personal letter, and we have a number that we can call to the owner.
Right.
So hopefully things will improve between now and next year. Thank you very
Hope
much.
so too, thanks. Next person, Lex, is that Payne? Name and address, and
Lex Payne, 4808 North Miller. This is the sign that I pulled off of 47th in May after the party November of 2019, where in my letter I included pictures. This was 2 months after they agreed not to have parties, only 2 cars in the driveway, and they're having food trucks and live music.
was that this applicant and
It
this
is not,
applicant?
but this is,
Okay.
this is an ongoing problem, that there's no oversight by the city for us to come and say, this is what's happening to our neighborhood, and is there a recourse where you can pull their license?
I might argue that it's kind of working because you're here right now telling us about it.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. And like I said, if it was the same owner and you're coming to this, and we'd probably have a much different view
Right.
on his application. But just to, put everything on the previous owner, just because he did, as he's going to do it, I'll give him the same year that we gave the previous one, and hopefully, like I said, he does better, because, neighbors don't need, animosity. It doesn't help. It doesn't help anybody.
But they don't know that the parties are going on, because they're not there.
Right, well, and you have a number now too, and you can let him know. I'm sure he would be very interested to know if he's having a party in his house, because I would, for sure.
Okay. Have you considered my request to grant us the same protection as provided to historic preservation districts by requiring the owner to be a resident of the property? That adds additional safety for the other residents around that home that you're not granting to all the other places.
That's more of a zoning matter.
I'm sorry.
More of a zoning matter than a Board of Adjustment
Okay.
matter.
But this is our forum to talk to somebody at the city to get the process started.
Right, and exactly. And for you being here, it's more likely going to be that this goes for another time for only 1 year and not longer. And if it was, like I said, the same owner, it probably would be going for no more years.
The previous people set this thing up specifically to be an Airbnb. If you go out to the website, there's multiple pictures of the interior of it. It's set up to attract parties and
Right,
gatherings.
they sound to me to not be very good Airbnb operators and not very smart in their business. So I can only speculate why they had to sell their house or why they did. And it's someone new now.
Okay, on this current owner, throughout the holiday season, it was one Christmas party after another. There'd be 3, 4, 5 parties a week between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Why do I think it's a party? When I go to bed at 10 o'clock, there's cars all over the street. When I get up at 4, all the cars are gone.
As far as, the rules of what we've got to go by, you could talk to your council member and see if they can change our rules that guide us and tell us, what we can and can't do on these properties. Like I said, I think our best defense is just a short term and see how it goes, and hopefully it goes well. And if it doesn't, then, we go from there.
So a year from today, if it's been a party house or they're not
Right,
following the
please
the
come back,
rules,
bring evidence,
we
and
have
yeah.
to come back here and you're still bound by the same rules. You would issue them another license because,
We have discretion. I mean, if it's something that we, we specifically tell them not to do and, they're doing it, then yeah, that's kind of, I think, why we're here in the first place, to at least have some oversight over it. But no,
Okay.
we're not the police and we can't just, go after somebody. But we rely on citizens to give us information and pass that on.
okay,
And
thank you.
Thank you for being here. I think that's everybody. You want to respond? Sure.
Okay, when we first took ownership of the property, we did knock on some doors, things like that. My wife's a little bit shy when it comes to those things, so she finally wrote a note to everyone, letting them know who we were, how to contact us if there were any issues, those kinds of things. We're over there 3-4 times a week for various reasons, either cleaning the property, maintaining the property, doing things, through the week, weekend, Sundays, evenings, days, those kinds of things. So there's ample opportunity for folks to meet us and us to meet them as well. And maybe we should have done a better job with that. In regards to things that happened before, I can't speak for that. I can only speak for what we want to do with the property, which is make it lodging. And if there are anything, if people are there later than they need to be, I would ask that you call and let us know, because we can certainly take care of that right away. As I've said, we want to be good neighbors. So, we'd like to join the homeowners association, become part of the community as much as we can in that. Also, it's I know you all don't deal with this, but I don't believe it's a historic district. I think it's an urban conservation district. And I might be wrong. I don't know how all that works. But on the homeowner association website, it talks about it being an urban conservation
CCD.
district. So, and,
Step below,
Yeah.
historic preservation, I guess, yeah.
yeah, so, I would appreciate, given the opportunity to, try for a year or two to see how things go. And to show everyone that we're genuine in our requests and our desires.
Thanks. As far as, I think, the changes to the rules, if we could, just leave it no gatherings, in my opinion, and off-street parking, which I think is addressed down here with the only 2 cars be parked, but just call it off-street parking. 'Cause
Okay.
Could you get more than 2 in that driveway anyway?
No, it's
Okay.
a push.
Yeah, we'll just call it
So,
off-street parking.
now regarding the sidewalk, if your car is in the driveway, are you not supposed to?
Not supposed to hang out on
Okay.
the sidewalk, impeded.
Okay, all right, we'll make sure that folks do that. Try to do a better job with that and parking on the street as well. So,
I've even
maybe-
been cited for that, so.
because I know what it's been like to have someone parked right behind me when I'm trying to back out.
Right,
It's,
right,
you have to get ask them, hey, can you move your car so I don't hit it? Because not everyone will see a car.
Good. I think I'm ready for a motion. Approval, denial.
Second.
I can't make the motion.
Oh, I thought Mike just said something.
No, he's over there dreaming.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
We're both
Mike. Oh, okay. I would like to make a motion that we accept case number 14997 for a period of 1 year with the conditions that are imposed by you and by us on the grounds that it meets the requirements for a special exception.
Okay. Can you state those
Yes, yes.
requirements? The specific, I think it was off-street parking, just no gatherings,
Okay.
take out the Instagram
Okay.
reference.
For, to include off-street parking, no gatherings,
And length of 1 year.
and for 1 year.
And what was the last one? 1
For
year?
a period of 1 year, yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right.
Second.
and your application is approved for a year. That's it. I think that's the end. Do we have any additional items? Board committees? Board members? Counselor, Rita? Anything? Okay. Other business? Citizens to be heard? You guys want to be heard again? No. Is Michael Washington here? I know he had a nice appearance on Tuesday. So. Oh, he was here back in full force, and it seems like he's taking some acting classes too lately, so he was pretty big.
Have we adjourned yet?
And we're adjourned, yeah. Now I think we were talking other items.